वेबसाइट आई नीड द, ठीक है, एक बार हर्ष चेक कर लीजिएगा, आई थिंक दिस इज, है ना, हर्ष, यू कैन जस्ट सिंपली चेक. सो let's listen to this carefully, no noise, listen to this. So the first thing is, where do you download? We are talking about, so tomorrow we're going to talk about what? We're going to talk about ICDR and LODR. ठीक है, ICDR master circular, ठीक है, this master circular, so we are talking about master circular. Okay, ICDR master circular and LODR master circular, this is before listing, this is for fundraising essentially, है ना. So this is pre-IPO or for fundraising process, and this is post fundraising, the compliances that you require post fundraising. This is clear, correct? Then you will search in Google, or maybe simply just type SEBI. This is the website of our regulator, one of the most professional and respected regulators, and you will, and most proactive also. So you'll come to this. Circulars are followed after the master circular. That you are aware. So master circular, you'll come, click on the master circular. Let's show to our people who are online. Can you just show? So there are various. Just go to ICDR. Go to the ICDR here, right here. Hey, just give me the control. Hold on. Naveen, wait. So this is the date. This is the date. This is master circular price. Okay. You click on this one. Once you click on this one, you have a PDF which will pop up. This PDF which pops up here. Simply download and push it into ChatGPT. So now, can you bring us to the ChatGPT thing? This is the download function here. Let me just highlight this. Just 1 second. So this down arrow that you see here is a download function, and using this one, you can download the PDF. The PDF goes into ChatGPT. Can you open the ChatGPT thing that we have just opened? Just that portion. It is done. So this is what we're talking about. And one is, we were discussing about what is the difference between preferential rights versus a rights issue. So this is, the preferential issue is faster, the rights issue is slower. Why it is slower and why it is faster? Because it is offered to select set of investors. When it is offered to select set of investors, SEBI is less concerned. SEBI is less worried when you are asking money from public at large. Then there will be more scrutiny required, and this is not born out of thin air. This regulation is just not born out of anywhere. This is born out of the Sahara case, where lakhs of investors were, sort of, they had become the channel partners, or they had become investors. They had put money in here, and when SEBI asked and Supreme Court asked, give us a proof where has this money come from, they could not produce the proof. They gave 2 trucks of counterfoils. There were 2 truckloads of counterfoil that was sent to SEBI's office, and 2 trucks of them. When SEBI investigated, they found majority of the counterfoils had the same address. SEBI actually diligently reviewed that. After that, any company which had lot of investors, it was known as, if there are too many investors, say you have a cooperative company, a cooperative, dairy cooperative, say where there are 10,000 farmers who are shareholders, because it's a dairy cooperative, so there are 10,000 shareholders. It's a cooperative society. It is already considered as a deemed IPO. What is it considered as? Deemed IPO. They would not allow you to bring the IPO. It is already considered as deemed IPO. It is born out of the Sahara space. Pre-Sahara, companies with a lot of investors were allowed. So I had taken a particular case, and I asked someone, and this is exactly the thing. So there was a company from Latur, a dairy cooperative, and it has other businesses, it has mills, and I wanted to get it listed. This I'm talking about pre-COVID 2018, and I spoke to someone. They said this kind of company would not be allowed, and I don't think the approach has changed. The story is not about the dairy. The story is not about the IPO. The story is not about deemed IPO right now. The story is about why this is faster, why this is slower, because the moment you befool the government and people, or you come up with a scam, they will slow down the process, and hence that we were speaking about. Also for promoters, there are lock-in periods available for various types because they want to slow down the speed, so that over fly-by operators, you know, fly-by-night operators, they should not exist. Hence, they slow down the process. So that is one. Pricing we will discuss tomorrow. The pricing, I think you've already figured out. Pricing, this is important because there could be deviations in finding the pricing. There are some case studies around it. If the companies still exist, they are listed, we will not name those companies. We'll just discuss it as a case study, as a screenshot, but we will not discuss it because the case could be ongoing. The matter could be sub judice. If the company has already, it's a bankrupt company, already gone, does not exist, then we are free to discuss. Otherwise, for a listed company, if the case is ongoing, it becomes speculative activity. But this is important. So what all do you need to investigate? One is the pricing thing. Okay. And these are the effects. This is an effect. This is the methodology as to how this is happening. This is how it is happening. Public participation. So I'm not bothered about public participation right now. Okay. I'm not bothered about public participation. Select investors, yes. So, and I think to my understanding, we were reading research analyst paper 2. There cannot be more than 50 participants who you can offer to as the promoter of the company. This is offered only to the existing shareholders. So existing shareholders could be any, and usually you give them a discount of 5-10% as a rights issue. This is listed as a separate security on stock exchanges. So you can see and figure out when you search, will be available as a rights entitlement. Clear? I hope this is getting crystal clear, the flow of it. So you know how it is working out for you. Okay. So now what would you investigate? When you are writing a paper, when you are investigating, when you are making a paper, the focus has to be on this part. Please take a note of this and also send me on the group as to what are the pending assignments. So I want an assignment. When you talk about this, the preferential issue, rights issue, warrants, especially warrants and preferential, I want the SEBI formula to be discussed. Is it clear? Yes or no? Okay. Now, there are advantages, quick fundraising that you understand because the process is shorter. Now, let's look and understand some of the companies which have gone for fundraising. So now what we will do is, you will show us how to search on NSE's website. So go to Google search and just do preferential allotment the way we did. You remember we just did a search for Vodafone India. Google search, can you do? Yes, here is the preferential issue. Put the name of the company, maybe Vodafone India. Yes, the name has come. Just select. Name is there. Okay. And just click on this zip document. Let me just click it quickly. So here it comes. Here it comes. Here it comes. How does the document look like is what we're talking. So this is undertaking, and this is from Government of India. Why this is from Government of India? Because we all know that the outstanding interest has been converted into equity shares. Outstanding interest and outstanding dues rather, not interest. The dues has been decided to convert the outstanding spectrum auction dues, not the interest, including deferred dues repayable after expiry of the moratorium period between this and this period, into what? Into equity shares to be issued to the Government of India. So Government of India becomes a shareholder in this company. Now, I have discussed this in detail that this is a government to government. This company is a British company owned by a British, it's a British government, it's a British national company. So easily this company would not go down. So this is how the preferential document looks like. Can you show us another piece of document on the preferential issue side of it? So यहाँ दिखा दीजिए पुराना कोई, maybe this one. Yes, you have this one, you have this one. You open this one. This is how the document looks like. This is notice, and let's read some of the quick things. How much fund is it? Is rupees 75,000 crore only, and this is how the share capital has been altered. Okay, from the existing 75 crores to rupee 1 lakh crore. This is the authorized capital, correct? Remember we read about authorized capital, subscribed capital, forfeited. This is how much they can possibly raise. So they can go up to 10 lakh, 1 lakh crores, not 10 lakh crores, 1 lakh crores. And if you are changing the authorized capital from 7.5 lakh crores to 10 lakh crores, sorry, 1 lakh crore is this amount, and you are changing it from 75,000 crores, you will have to change two things. One is the articles of association, and you'll also have to change the memorandum of association, should be mentioned somewhere. So MOA and AOA has to be changed, correct? That we understand. So this they are changing. Why they are changing? It is in line with the fundraising process. How will you raise funds if the government, if your regulation, if the articles of association and MOA says that you can raise only this much fund, but you are going for a preferential allotment, and the post the fundraise, this is post and this is pre. If your size becomes this much, but as per the AOA and MOA, you cannot become bigger than this. So you have to apply for the change in the articles of association. You have to have a bigger authorized capital. So you have to file with ROC, your AOA and memorandum of association. So you go from 75k to 1 lakh crore. This is authorized. You not raise the funds yet. You authorized yourself. You've taken permission. You authorized yourself. This is covered in your capital structure. So capital structure without the law of the land is useless. Okay? So this is about capital structure, and preferential issue is also about the law of the it's about the capital structure. Now look at this one. Then they talk about issuance of equity on a preferential basis. Okay? This is, and they have passed a resolution for that they are raising funds, and this is a special resolution. Special resolution requires what percentage to be voted for? Is it less than 51%? Is it 51%, 50%, or is it 75%? For a special resolution, what is the quorum you require? 75%. 2/3 of the people should approve this, because this is a special resolution. Have you understood? Yes or no? है ना? अब ये देखिए क्या लिखा है. This is as per, hold on. This is amended as per the ICDR regulations that you are going to make a summary tomorrow morning. This is what we are going to look at, and listing regulations, which is nothing but your LODR. समझे आप? And this has to be filed. Hold on. So this has to be subject to other applicable rules of MCA, SEBI, and RBI, and also the stock exchange. So you have to update everyone. So we are going for fundraising, and we will be following rules, abide by all the rules. So whether it is SEBI, whether it is MCA, is Ministry of Corporate Affairs, which is ROC, RBI, and stock exchange. So you have to update everyone. समझे आप? है ना? And now look at this terms here. It says the face value of this is going to be 10 rupees, I think. This is what it talks about, per equity share aggregating to 2075 crores to Oriana Investment PT. Now this is to a specific guy, and hence this is preferential allotment. Understood? Why this is preferential allotment? Because this is to a specific person, an investor. In this case, the person is a company, is a legal entity. Oriana. Okay. So this is how preferential allotment is done. Now the next question is, what if you raise too much of funds as CFOs? This is not about, hold on. So this is not about any particular company. Forget that. Drop the names now. Now it becomes generic. So we'll move from here and just do a Google search. Market capitalization of top banks in India. And there'll be a page from Money Control that will come. Market capitalization of top banks in India. Let it come. I am interested in, hold on. I am interested in a page which comes from Money Control. Okay? Hold on. Now the question at hand is, when you are doing preferential allotment, that means when you are raising funds via preferential shares, what are the challenges you may face? As investors, what are the challenges you may face? Whether of HNI nature, whether of retail nature, what are the challenges you may face? So we are only interested in the In what are we interested in? We are only interested in the, we are not interested in this prices, these prices. Okay, we are not interested in these prices, we are not interested in, we are not interested in this also. We are only interested in market cap, because we have picked up a topic from capital allocation, है ना, which is a topic from your corporate finance, world of corporate finance, है ना, which is a topic from also from your efficient use of capital and how do you raise funds. Now look at this one, you know. So I don't know what has happened, this thing has gone missing, just one second. So now let me just, give me one moment. So we are not interested in this one more time. Let me just, you know, this we are not interested, purposely removing this, because otherwise the eyes tend to focus on these things. Now look at this one. The topmost bank here is by market cap, because you are raising funds from the market and it is a listed company. This is how much? 11 lakh crore, 67,811 crores. 11 lakh 11.67 crores. That's the market share. Now, is it only private banks have come? So we have to look at the public banks. We want all the banks. Can you show me all the banks, not just the private? Up, just remain on this page. Don't be in a hurry. There'll be another page. Just go and check the other page. Top company's name. I just need market capitalization of banks. If you can just put, just remove the word top. Just remove the word top. Yes. Maybe they have split it, but that is how it is placed. Earlier, I could see a classification where you would have only the banks. Anyway, actually, let's continue with the definition here. Now, okay, because the beach mein it will rhythm will break, you know, if we focus on this one. So this is Yes Bank is placed at 71,000. IndusInd is bank is placed at 72,000 crores. ठीक है, और बीच में अभी जो है थोड़ा उथल पुथल हुआ है मार्केट में, दैट्स व्हाई, एंड दिस हैज बिकम 75,000 crore. ठीक है, now the problem is because you have issued so much, raised so much of capital, है ना, when you raise so much of capital, you have too many shares, so the price of each share becomes smaller and smaller, because your denominator is getting bigger and bigger. The number of shares is becoming bigger and bigger, so the pie looks small. So from a price perspective, it looks like that this is a 22 rupees, this is 100, this is 1000 rupees, and this is, what is the price of this one? This is 1005. But if you look at this one, they are more or less comparable. Look at this. So 1000 rupees company is comparable to a 932 rupees company, is comparable to a 289 rupees company, is comparable to a 22 rupees company. How people trap themselves. No one else traps them. They trap themselves. They think that this will become 3x, or at least this will become 30 rupees, or at least this will become 40 rupees, because it's a small price. So you think that when the next movement comes, this will be developed, because the other companies are like 75 rupees, 100 rupees. That is the perception they have. But they forget that they have to look in. That's why I said don't look at this one. You have to look in toto. That all these pizzas, these are all same medium size pizzas. They're all same. It's just that one has more slices to it, है ना? The other maybe has only 8 slices. The other guy maybe only has 4 slices. The other has maybe only 6 slices. It's just the same size. So when it is the same size, you have, when you look at this price, the individual piece, you think that this will double up very quickly. And people buy that in expectation. And people get stuck. When you buy a small stock, your expectation is, 25 दिन में पैसा doubling of the money in 25 days, doubling up money, because you think 22 can easily go to 50, why not? But that never happens. So what will happen is, your level of patience with such companies which are penny stocks under 100 and most likely under 50 has to be of a longer duration. Why? Because they are all of the same size. If this has to double up, if Yes Bank has to double up, it will have to open more branches, more ATMs. It will have to go to rural areas also. Otherwise, the asset base does not grow. If the asset base does not grow, then the share prices will not. It will go to 22 to 30, then fall. It will go to. So people mostly get trapped looking at the small price, whereas they are not comparing that all of them are equal banks. But because you keep raising funds, because the number of slices keep increasing, the share prices keep dipping and dipping, right? If another fundraising exercise happens, maybe this will go down to, maybe, who knows, and not with this bank, other bank maybe it will become 15 rupees, maybe it will become 10 rupees. You'll think, wow, it is so cheap. But value wise, it is equivalent to an AU small finance, is equivalent to an Indus, and it is equivalent to, if my memory goes right, if you check the same number, if you compare this, if you go to the banks private, all the banks like PNB, Bank of Maharashtra, they are all of the same size. Okay, so if you look at this one, they are all of the same size, more or less. That means, now see around how many Bank of Maharashtra ATMs and branches you see. Now ATM has become rare, or branches are becoming rare, but look at this one. Are there any banks comparable to this one? Yes. So Bank of India. How many branches of Bank of India you see? Pan India. Just go to the site, search Bank of India, number of ATMs, number of branches. Just go to IOB or Bank of Maharashtra. Is it comparable in terms of the branches? For example, if you have to compare automotive companies, you have to compare the number of dealerships. It's about the presence. When you have more presence, you can garner more, you can sell more, or you can accept more deposits. When you are comparing banks, obviously you would also look at the number of branches they have, rural versus urban, etc., etc. So their presence in terms of the branches, and obviously there is, because of the digitization, but in rural areas people still like to visit banks. So, so if you think that this will double up, it will double up only when the asset base doubles up and the number of ATMs and this thing doubles up. So that is a study that you have to do when you are doing preferential issue. Also be aware of the fact that the share prices may remain under pressure for a long time unless the fundraising activity, the fund that you are raising via preferential share, actually leads to increase in business. How will the business increase? Actually leads to actual increase in the business, and that actual increase in the business is visible via the deposit base that we spoke about, the CASA ratio that you have already learned, and obviously the bigger bank will have larger presence, physical presence also. So you understood. So tomorrow morning, first we push ICDR, review it page by page, then we push LDR. You just keep on taking the screenshot and then make your presentation. Understood? So tomorrow we have to close at least one master circular, otherwise we are